Hi PowerShell community and welcome our guest today, Gael. He's one of the organizers of the PowerShell Conference Europe, which takes place in the beautiful country of Austria. Gael, thank you very much for your time. Would you please introduce yourself to the community so we get a better idea of who you are and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Gael. I'm a director at SynEdgy Limited. SynEdgy is a small consulting firm focused primarily on DevOps and PowerShell technologies, the ecosystem. So I've been PowerShell MVP for a few years now, and I have especially an expertise around PowerShell desired state configuration and related technologies like Azure guest configuration, Azure policy guest configuration. So recently I joined the team of organizers at PSCONF Europe, and I started to take more responsibility to take over a little bit from Tobias, who wanted to have a less involved role, but is still doing a lot. But he's the one telling us, how things were organized before, and then really helping us, taking over and building a nice PowerShell conference as it was done before, because it was so successful over the years.
Okay, so let's talk about your role as an organizer of the PowerShell conference. So what is your role? What maybe are you working right now for the PowerShell conference, and what makes it so special this year?
Yes, so my role, so we are a few organizers, and we all co-organizers. Basically, my company, SynEdgy Limited, is taking over as a legal entity. And the reason for that is just because it's convenient to have a company behind this for signing contracts and everything. But really, it's about all the organizers that were there before, plus myself, plus Patrick, who's also based in Austria, so that really helps. So we are the same team as before. Probably everyone is volunteer, I would say, maybe except myself. But I'm still a volunteer because I volunteer my time and efforts. But it's just a legal entity gone through my company.
Okay, and just why should we attend the PowerShell conference?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I was working on a document which I will publish probably today or in the next few days. For why would you attend PowerShell Conference Europe? Well, if you do anything related to automation or DevOps, I believe this is a game changer for maybe your career, and also for learning and widening your horizons. There's a lot of content, and it's not just about the content that will be delivered over there. We have more than 40 speakers. It's really about the experience we're crafting for people to join. We're really trying to have a nice environment which is fun, relaxed, professional, lots of exchanges and a lot of really deep technical content. But at the same time, we want to focus on the time that people have to connect between each other, so then they can create long-lasting connections. So we have relaxed time. We have lots of breaks. After every session, there's a 15-minute break. It's really good if you just want to relax, have a coffee for the next session. But it's also great if you want to follow up maybe with a speaker and follow up with other attendees to discuss the previous sessions and maybe get you prepared for the next session. And on top of that, we have good breaks, lunch breaks where you can discuss as well. We have areas where you can discuss, you can share what you've been working on. You can, bring your laptop, open your laptop, ask a question, very technical, very specific, and people are usually really, really thrilled to help out and then discuss about maybe your problems and maybe show you how they solved similar problems.
Okay.
So,
and
go ahead.
No. Most important from my side, it will be an in-person on-site event. You can go to the speakers, you can talk to them. You don't need to go into a virtual cafe or something. So go to them, shake his hand or do a fist bump, whatever it is right now, and talk to the person from face to face. It's really huge. After 2 years, everyone looking forward to see persons.
Yeah, the last one was in 2019, and then in 2020 we had to go virtual and we had to cancel 2021. So it's been a long time, and it's going to take everyone a little bit of time to get accustomed again, in the in-person type of conference, especially over several days. But that's also why we picked a venue which is in a very nice city, as you said. It will be spring and beginning of summer, so it will be a very nice time of the year, and we're really next to a very nice park. So we just have to cross the road to be in a park, and we have a social event on day 2, which is at the Prater. And it will be a nice, a little bit outside or inside, where we will have dinner. We'll be relaxed, and you can have very relaxed conversations with members of the community. So great!
Okay.
It's going to be a great time.
So we already mentioned that it will take place in Austria. So Gael, have you ever been in Austria before, or will it be your first visit?
No, I've been there a few times actually.
Okay.
My sister used to study in Vienna, so okay. I traveled a few times. I actually traveled once when I was studying in China, and I traveled from China through Paris to Vienna to spend a week with my sister. And yeah, okay. Kind of weird. But I was in China for already like more than a year, so it was a good time to go back in Europe and then do a little bit of visiting. And that was my first time that was my first time in Vienna, and that was maybe 15 years ago. And then I went back a few times, more for visiting the city, experience Vienna, and there's so many things to do. And it was roughly the same time of the year, so I know it's going to be glorious. It's going to be.
So when you think about Austria, what is typical for you when you think about Austria?
Ooh, so I've been skiing in Tyrol, and that was such a great experience. So skiing over there, the countryside, I really loved it. And then in summer, I really liked Vienna for, the city vibes, the music in the street. I really like, classical music over there. Like you can go, and it's very low key. You can go in pretty much in any concert, and they are very different type of concerts, very easy to get into. There's so many things happening. You just go in the city and there's always something to do, and really relaxed outside. A bit cafe life. Cafe Central is a great experience as well. I remember being there, just having some Vienna's pastries with a piano bar and, drinking my coffee. That was pretty awesome.
So are you planning to stay long in Austria or just for the conference?
Well, I will be pretty busy, so we will come a little bit earlier and probably staying until the end of the weekend, just to have a little bit of time. Because I'm an organizer, I can't take too much time because my family will stay. Will stay back here in Switzerland. So it would be great. Maybe I will come back. Maybe I will actually come in May, just because we need to organize things. So maybe we'll hop around in May, and maybe we'll do a bit more visiting at that time than in June. But I recommend anyone to go, and if you can bring your family, I would say that would be a great experience. And we will open the day 2 social event for your partner. If you want to bring them, it will be a very tiny fee probably, but we will let people, join with their partner and their family. So then it's the PowerShell family showing the community. So yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So each PowerShell conference says something special about the color of the coffee mug.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that already answered my question. So who had not heard the podcast episode 2 where you talked about the mug? Would you show us the coffee mug, or not, or maybe, and maybe tell us the short story why you choose that color and not maybe the color what is typical to be chosen, the Pantone color of the year.
Yeah, so we've got this one, which is not the Pantone color of the year, and I will get back to this in a moment. And you can see I have another one. Yeah. Which is this one. This one is the 2016, so that means it's the first one, and because it's the first one, is the one I use the most, so that's when it's a little bit broken, and I don't want it to get to pieces, so that's why I'm keeping that one here and not using it for drinks. But otherwise, I use all the others which are in my kitchen. So the reason for having this this color, the Pantone color, the first one is it's a geeky reason, because it's a fun one to not have to select, not have to select the color ourselves, but following, the pick from Pantone. So they organize, and they usually have very nice colors. So why this year it's not the Pantone color? It's because I believe it's, I can't remember if it's a blue or purple, which is very similar to one we already had. I think it's purple this year. And we already had one, which I can't remember which year. I can tell you probably, but
I think it was 2019, wasn't it?
Or 2019 was the pinkish one. I can't remember.
Okay.
So many. I have a picture not far, so I can look at it. And then so it was the 2018.
Okay.
2018 was the purple one. So that's why we said, okay, we need to find another one. And I believe in Pantone they have either we can pick, sometimes we pick another year if that makes more sense. Or we just pick the secondary color, which is another one, and that's why we picked the yellow one.
The yellow one.
Which is quite nice, and we didn't have any yellow, and it's quite fun and good timing. So yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, Gael. The last question for today: what is your favorite PowerShell commentlet and your favorite PowerShell module?
Oh, model. So the commentlet. My favorite commentlet might be get DSC configuration status. And the main reason is about I'm a big fan of PowerShell DSC and what you can do with DSC. So although this one is the most famous one, now people will probably know different comments from a guest configuration module, and we'll talk about this at the PowerShell conference EU. But that's my favorite comment for now.
Okay. Gael, thank you very much for your time. Any last words to the community?
No, thank you very much for having me. And then see you in Vienna in June.
And get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets, obviously.
Of course.
Before they run out.
Thanks again. Looking forward to meet you in June, and bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.